It's been 7 years since the Logan movie came out, and it would be the last time we'd ever see Hugh Jackman suit up as Wolverine. Well, not quite. Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? Back with a brand new action figure review, and today we're going to take a look at the new ZD Toys Deadpool and Wolverine figure. Now, this isn't the first time I've reviewed a ZD Toys figure on my channel. If you've been subscribed from a while back, I did do a ZD Toys Endgame Professor Hulk review because Hasbro didn't really release a proper one, and the one they released was a Build-A-Figure, which I still think that mold was originally supposed to be used for the Thor Ragnarok Hulk, but that's besides the point. Today we're going to take a look at the ZD Toys Deadpool Wolverine figure, and if you've seen that review, you'd see that the box has come a long way in terms of presentation, and I guess so has my lighting, and if it hasn't, let me know, I'll change it. Not really, or improve it, but not really. Anyways, it's stupid. We take a look at the box. It has this nice like metallic finish, and it has like an embossed, like raised font for the Deadpool Wolverine logo right there. You see the little scribbles of the box right there. It's, I guess, reminiscent of Deadpool. But on the side, you see Deadpool and Wolverine. You see the scratches for Wolverine's claws. And on the back is the figure itself and the accessories display that he comes with. And on the side, it shows, again, the figure, Deadpool Wolverine, and then it shows a sticker from Disney showing that this actually is officially licensed product. Because I know some people might think these are just bootlegs or third parties. But, I mean, it's third party. Like, it's bootleg, but it's not. It's actually legit Marvel products. Now, the thing I really like about this box is the magnets on the side, because the way it opens is nice. It's like, I'm trying to remember if it's like a DVD or like a book, but I know some things I've seen before that have like this magnet control, like just closes like that. That's super cool. And like I said, the box has definitely come a long way compared to the original ZD Toys Endgame Hulk that I reviewed. Then you open it, well, you see the figure right there. All right, I've talked enough about the box, which is dope, and I will keep it. Let's go and get Wolverine out. All right, here's Wolverine out of the box, and we'll take a look at his accessories first. So Wolverine comes with a stand, which is pretty cool. It's like a nice imprint of the movie right there, and you see Wolverine's claws going through. It's one at the bottom. It says, the trademark for 2024 Marvel, and then 2024 20th Century Studios. Rest in peace, Fox Studios. And then he also comes with this, or the stand, sorry, I say, comes with this piece, and there's two sides to it. There's a small little port and then a bigger one. The big one goes on the base stand. The smaller one ports inside of the actual stand that will be used to actually clip the figure from behind. So this is pause. But this is cool. Like, it's nothing spectacular, but I at least appreciate the effort put in to include a stand, and a very detailed stand at that. Now, in addition to the stand, Wolverine also has 4 sets of hands, so that's 8 individual hands total. So let's go and take a look at them. So he comes with a pair of fisted hands, and then he has like these wide gripping hands, and then he also has a pair of relaxed open hands. And then the last set of hands we're going to take a look at are the ones with his adamantium claws, and unfortunately these are flimsy. You know, I might have to heat them up because they're a little warped. I'm going to try and heat them up and, try to fix these so it doesn't look like it's made out of straws. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. We'll get started with the head sculpt first, and it's okay. There's a lot of inaccuracies with this line going on his helmet there, or his mask, because when looking at the source material, yes, it's there, but it's not. It's very, very minimal. You can't really see it, whereas here it's very pronounced. And I don't know if this was early concept art they received, because you know how Disney is when it comes to their Marvel properties. They're very secretive, so it could have just been renders that they were originally shown. But apart from those lines going on the top of his head, I still think the mask or the head sculpt looks very good. The beard paint could use a little improvement, to be honest with you. But other than that, I think it's as good as a live-action Wolverine as you're going to get in figure form until the Legends or the SH Figuarts comes out. But I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks decent. And then if you look at the back, oh yeah, so that pattern goes all the way through the back. I want to take a look at the rest of the figure. That same level of attention to detail in terms of sculpting is prominent throughout the rest of the figure. However, there are some areas that I feel like could use improvement, which I'll get into here in just a second. But overall, I think the aesthetic and design does look like the movie version. Maybe it's not movie accurate 100%, but it still captures it in figure form pretty well. And in one of the areas I think the figure definitely could have been improved is the belt. Me and a good friend of mine were talking about this. So you see how it's just painted on there, that X? It looks kind of cheap in my opinion. When you have this nice detailed sculpting work and texture throughout the suit, having that just painted over it just looks kind of cheap in my opinion. And again, this is my second ZD Toys I've had in like the last 5-6 years. It's been a minute, yeah. So I don't know what to expect in terms of ZD toy quality, but I feel like this definitely could have been an improvement if it was a sculpted X instead of a painted on one. Now, having said that, there are also a lot of positives when it comes to sculpt and attention to detail. For example, the shoulder pads. You see that nice silver finish right there at the edge of the shoulder pads? It's just surreal that we got to see this in live action, like this type of suit. But that's a nice attention to detail. Another thing I will point out when it comes to the aesthetics of the figure and the sculpt work, and engineering I should say also, is the joints. They're double jointed, but if you notice, again, pins don't really make or break a figure for me, it doesn't matter, but they're able to make this pinless. Now the cut looks ugly, it just looks just a piece chopped off right there, but the fact that they're able to get this in a pinless figure is still pretty nice. And he does get a nice range of movement in that elbow right there. And same could be said for the legs as well. Also pinless joints. Here, the way it's cut though, I mean, you can kind of get away with it just because it's like a knee pad, but yeah, he gets a nice range of motion too, double jointed and pinless. And just to go over some other parts of articulation on the figure, he does have a neck joint, so it's on a dumbbell joint, sorry I should say, but he can look side to side, and then he can't really, well, he can look down just a little bit, look up a decent amount as well. Now, there is a shoulder joint in there, and a bicep swivel, again, double jointed elbows. And then there's no hinge at the wrist. There's a ball joint there, so you can just kind of turn it like this. You can't really like slightly move it back and forth, but not too much. And there are butterfly joints on there, but they only go forward. They kind of remind me of like Figuarts articulation, and I'll show an example of that. And what I meant by the butterfly joints being like the SH Figuarts, here's a Figuarts Endgame Hulk. The butterfly joints on here only go forward. They can't really go back forward. So on Wolverine, it's kind of the same thing, just kind of going forward, which looks really weird, but I guess at certain angles you can hide it, but there's none going back. So that's interesting to see. Another point of articulation I want to highlight is the diaphragm joint. So going forward, not really much. Going back, there is a lot. Damn. There's a lot going back. Going forward again, not too much. But there is a ball joint at the hip, which I prefer over the waist cut. So let's see. Again, not really too much, I think. Dang, that does suck. In terms of movement going side, it's a little stiff because I think the joint and the way it's put on there is pretty tight. So you got to really turn it. Just be careful. It does have drop down hips, which is interesting. So we see the legs right there. There isn't much of a thigh cut, but if you drop the hips down, looks horrible if you pose the figure just like this, but that's so you can go ahead and get him in like crouching poses like that. So, and it's really, you really can't kick up too much. I don't want to push it because there's a lot of stress against this plastic. I don't want to break it, but I can already see it starting to chip away right there doing if I push it too much. So he does have drop down hips, but again, chipping. Again, it isn't too effective, you know, because there's a lot of parts of it hindering it. And I want to showcase something too. It looks like he's got toe articulation too, so there's a toe hinge right there. Now I'm just going to jump right into size comparisons, and first size comparison, here's the ZD Toys Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine, standing next to a couple other Wolverine figures, and this time it's from the Marvel Legends line. So as you can see, he stands tall above the Marvel Legends version, and that's because ZD Toys is a 1/10 scale, whereas Marvel Legends are 1/12 scale. So he's not really going to fit with your Marvel Legends, but you can probably fudge him in with maybe your Diamond Select figures because it's 1/10 scale. But I do want to try this. I do want to try a couple head swaps to see if it actually fits on this figure. Kind of showcase some headless Wolverine figures, but just to showcase, so the Marvel Legends ball peg is bigger than the ZD Toys one, so this will fit on there. You might have to use some blue sticky tack, but after trying it, I mean, it works. To me, that looks in scale, but I don't think it looks too small, but let me know what you think in the comments below, because I think, let's go and zoom out here a little bit. Yeah, I think that works. Next size comparison, here's Wolverine standing next to the Marvel Legends Deadpool on the left with the X-Men in Training shirt from GPS lot, and on the right, the Marvel Legends Deluxe Carnage from the movie Venom Let There Be Carnage. So scaling wise, yeah, he's gonna look short next to Wolverine. I'm sure I can probably fudge it with some toy photography, like some perspective shots. With Carnage, I guess it could work because he's supposed to be super tall, so he is taller than Wolverine, but who would win this fight, Wolverine or Carnage? Next size comparison here is next to some Hulk figures in my collection. On the left, we have the SH Figuarts Endgame Professor Hulk, and on the right, we have the Marvel Legends Age of Ultron Hulk. So in terms of scaling, I would say this could kind of work. I just have to probably put Wolverine crouching or something like that. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think it's about time that we do get an updated Marvel Legends MCU Hulk. And when I look at the Professor Hulk, I mean, come on, they're almost the same height. Next size comparison was just to kind of showcase him next to another 1/10 scale line. So here he's next to McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures. On the left, we have the Batman vs. Superman Batman. And on the right, we have the Batman and Robin Poison Ivy. So I would say these two designs are the best comic book to live action movie adaptations we've seen in terms of like comic accuracy, in my opinion. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And because you thought I forgot, I didn't. Now time for a random ass size comparison. Here he is standing next to a couple of My Hero Academia figures from McFarlane Toys. We have Deku, not Todoroki, and Ochako.
My shitting heart.
Alright, some overall thoughts on the figure? I like it. It'll do until the Marvel Legends version comes out, or even the Figuarts. But it is a decent figure. However, keep in mind it is a 1/10 scale figure, so you really can't pose them with anything else in your collection, apart from maybe Diamond Select Toys, or if you want to cross it over with DC Multiverse, you could. I don't know why you would, but you could. But it is a nice figure, and I think for the price point, it's worth it, especially when you look at the plethora of hand accessories. The little stand's a cool touch, and I think the plastic's decent. The plastic it's using is a little bit more rigid than like a Marvel Legends. It kind of seems similar to like a Figuarts, so I would just be careful when posing it because it might be a little bit more brittle, so it might be prone to breaking. But overall, I think it's a good figure. But let me know what you think in the comments below. YouTubers, sound off, and like always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.